Margarita Skype, and in this episode, we're going to discuss what's the difference between engagement ring and wedding ring. This question has been asked a lot, especially by the guys, and I guess it makes sense because we ladies, we kind of know we're expecting this proposal happen, so we know what an engagement ring and wedding ring are usually, but the guys sometimes have absolutely no clue. So let's go through it. An engagement ring. Let's look at an array of engagement rings. They are right here. They could be solitaires, they could be rings with different diamonds. They are the ring you propose with. They are the ring that you want to get a yes, they want to be your wife with. That is your second ring. Why do I say second ring? Because the first ring, if you want to be completely precise, is the promise ring. We have a lot of couples that do the promise ring before the engagement ring. Promise ring is just one of those, after prom, or you two are too young, you just finished high school, you love each other, and you want to give a promise ring. Those are usually super cute, super tiny, can be just a stackable ring. Anything goes for a promise ring. But an engagement ring is when you ask her and you say, would you like to be my wife? And you propose with that beautiful ring. Now, the wedding ring or a wedding band, or they are also called marriage ring, that's a totally separate thing. That is the ring for when you've already set your wedding dates and you are going to get married under hoopah or not under hoopah, with a guy or a girl who says, now you may kiss the bride and exchange the rings, and that is your wedding ring. That goes either on top of an engagement ring or before engagement ring. Girls wear it totally different ways, but it is a second ring. Now the guy only gets one wedding ring. He doesn't get an engagement ring, obviously. He only gets the wedding ring at your time when you do your vows and you say your I do's. That's when you exchange your rings and both of you get wedding rings. Now, a question that often goes around this topic is, Rita, do I need to be stressed about engagement ring and wedding ring? Do I buy them together? What is the course? How does it go? So an engagement ring, usually a guy buys and he puts his heart and soul. And I've made a lovely video if you're wondering how much you should spend on an engagement ring, what styles it should be, and so on and so forth. Watch it right here. It is absolutely marvelous. It is 10 minutes long and you'll be an expert on what you should do and how much you should spend. So, but back to this topic. After you've already proposed to her with a ring and she said, I do, normally the guys kind of give the wedding rings to the wife-to-be and just let her handle what she wants for a wedding ring, what stones she wants, how much is the budget, that kind of fun stuff. Usually the wife-to-be takes care of. For you, of course, you can take care of your own ring because you know what you like. So, but most of the times couples come together after we've already made the engagement ring and they propose, they come together and we go through styles that fit the engagement ring. What will be the best wedding ring? What will be the most economical? What will be the most expensive? We go through all that in our appointment. So they usually love to do this together. It's kind of like, when you go to search for restaurants together for your wedding or floral shops or whatever, it kind of goes together with that whole togetherness, and it's really, really sweet moment. I love those appointments because I get to know a lot about my couples. And they love it because they get to know a lot about themselves. Because believe it or not, it's a very interesting appointment when you get to choose wedding rings together, wedding bands together, and the couples are usually, surprised at some of the choices, of the girl and the guy. It's really, really interesting. So that usually goes together. Although I want to tell you about 20% of guys in our, let's say in our history of our studio, like to buy engagement rings and wedding rings together as a set. We do have about 20% of guys that say, listen, I know my girl, she wouldn't want to go here. She'd want me to take care of it all. And they just buy an engagement ring and a matching wedding band right together then. So it's very, very interesting. Everybody's very different, but we have a lot of guys who say, just get me a matching wedding band and I will buy it as a set. I'll propose with engagement rings and tell her that I already have a wedding ring. And most of the times it goes. They know their girl. They know that the girl wouldn't mind that. But sometimes these girls come back and, of course, want to change the wedding band to something they like. So to all the guys out there, I am not a big fan of buying an engagement ring and wedding ring together. only because a lot of the times they come back and want to change, which is hard for me and for you. I have to keep your ring or figure out how we can do this after. And this all could have been avoided should you just buy an engagement ring and come back for the wedding ring together. But I know that a lot of guys are wanting to do that as one shot, and it has worked for some couples while others do come back. So my 5 cents is, worry about the engagement ring, spend your heart and soul engagement ring, make it the most beautiful one that you want for your girl, and leave the wedding rings to her. Let her be a part of the wedding bands, choosing because I think it's more fair and she'd love the process anyways. It's Margarita Skypen, and I hope you learned something new. I'll see you in the next video.